cross-cultural issues in ethics. Yes, very commonly we are going to identify one of the major thought processes such like yes, we are all now as a global citizens. But global citizens, so why do we need to look forward into cross-cultural issues? It's almost like 20th century. We are thinking about advanced thoughts. Probably we are moving ahead of all the amount of orthodox thoughts, and probably we are crossing all the amount of barriers. Those barriers were there, like caste, language, religion. Many amount of problems were there in our routine. Correct. So all those problems are not there, but still we do have cross-cultural issues in ethics. So when it comes to the viewpoint of ethical thoughts, yes, it is begin with yes differences in languages. So we do face huge amount of problems, especially the country like India. It is so good number of languages are there, and regional wise we do have our own thought process, and even we are having the barriers as it's like giving priority to our own language. So how much it is quite good? These are all the basic questions. Okay, looks as such like can be able to narrate this as a norms, not as the rules. Never ever. Okay, if you are trying to make the things as such like rules concerned with respect to cross-cultural issues, then probably we may not able to find the permanent solution at all. But when you're going to consider this as a norms, yes, we should be supposed to come out of these barriers. Yes, possibility is there to look forward very easily. Okay, so that is one of the main constraints here, as like a language. And the second biggest thing is such like body language. 100% sure. Body language is one of the different criteria where which may go for leading towards different amount of gestures and understanding level. Yes, one of the gesture, most of the countries. The gesture leads to okay, the gesture leads to money, gesture leads to the value is zero, gesture leads to rude. Correct. So it is pertaining to our own viewpoints. It is pertaining to the level of our own thoughts. So where we are right, where we are wrong, narrating all these queries, questions, it is going to be one of the difficult tasks, and we may not arrive at one common conclusion at all. That is very true. In the continuation of the same, differences of perception. Yes. So what we do perceive, it is based upon our previous experience. We cannot arrive at the conclusion as such like the person has perceived as like me. No, we cannot arrive at any kind of conclusion. Why? Because streamlining is like that. The thought process is moving with reference to their own perception. based upon their previous experiences. Probably, let me start narrating one of the simple example here. One of the elderly person, one who is working in the office. Now, the question is going to get raised with some of the group of members as like, see, elderly person is working in the office. How rude their family members are. They are so merciless. They are sending this elderly person to work. That is,
Excuse me, sir.
yes, ma, please.
Sir, I'm not able to hear you. Shall I leave and rejoin again, sir?
Yes, yes, ma, no problem. So it's about perception of that group of people. And another set of group of people are there, their thought process is like, see, in this age also, the person is so enthusiastic in working. He's so good at. Probably he's so curious about learning many things. The difference is perception. The difference is perception here, where their previous experiences are acting as like a matter to arrive at one of the conclusion. Hope so you are understanding the cross-cultural issues. Even differences of religion. Yes, it is one of the serious issue across the globe. We are all human beings. Why do we need to have different amount of thought process? Most of us, we need to think a lot about all these amount of work with reference to the differences of religion, differences of perception, differences of languages, going to be acting as such like a burning issue. But we need to have a certain sense of thought process with the norms, arrive at the conclusion where you wanted to take the decision, where you should not get involved. Continue with the same pace so that you may go for taking the best amount of decisions. Even issues of human rights, very much clear. Indian Constitution has given human rights here. In spite of that, also we are worrying a lot to take up the decisions. And probably we are looking forward into the human rights of survival, food, basic needs. That's the biggest question. Yes, in this 2.5 years tenure of pandemic stage, yes, many of the organizations they could not able to get their minimum margin of profit, and many of the employees being sent without any benefits to the employees. Yes, this has been happened with most of the organizations. So it is one of the issue of rights. But can we sue against those kind of companies where they are not earning profit and they could not able to give proper amount of salary to their employees? We cannot sue against them. That's the reality involved here. Correct. So issues on human rights. Even price discrimination is acting as like an issue. Sir, cross-cultural issues where it is quite common, sir. Price discrimination, people they are going to argue it. It's quite common based upon demand and supply policy. Whenever the demand is high, price is going to be low, and probably when the demand is low, vice versa. So price is high because of demand is high. Demand is low, and price has become that vice versa concept. But when it comes to certain viewpoint, as like normally we are looking forward into our own luxury products. Yes, luxury products we are ready to bear even extra price also. But when it comes to necessities, it is like a biggest question mark. When it comes to necessities, it is acting as like a biggest question mark. How we can survive, how to lead, correct? Even about harmful products. Yes, it is one of the biggest challenge across the globe. We narrate that as like it is harmful to your health. The product is harmful to your health. In spite of that also, we are planning to continue the consumption. So how far it is good to our health? We supposed to identify in the preparation of the norms, start narrating which one we supposed to have norm to be considered, which one should be taken as a norm not to be considered. So we have to prepare our own kind of list and proceed further. That is only the solution where we can go for sorting out the problem with structural issues. Correct. So pollution and natural environment. Industrial revolution being taken place in the year 19th century. In that period of time, everyone was feeling as like no, our environment is going to be one of the biggest sensitive thing. If the industries are going to get grown up, then pollution rate will be so high, and our environment will get polluted out of that. But later the case, that bitter sense is being compensated with profit margin, earnings, survival. People, they started increasing their capacity of spending. Automatically, all those people who are narrating the problems, they stop talking because the supporters number been drastically reduced, because the people who were supporting, they are the employee in those factories. People who were supporting, they are the investors for those companies which are contributing to the pollution. Can you able to believe in identifying the best amount of solution for all the time? Yes, it is going to be a difficult task. Correct. So, with this note, I would like to conclude the cross-cultural issues into our routine life. Okay. So, one of the most important questions, cross-cultural issues, we could able to deal today. Thanks to everyone.